Hi, I'm Krista Komondor. This is Becoming a Comedian. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very excited. We have Devin Keast here. He's going to talk about hosting. I want to thank Jim in Australia for suggesting this topic. And if there's a topic you would like us to address, please let me know. Write in, and we'll go ahead and take care of it. Here's Devin.
Well, it's great to be here. I have been hosting open mics, some shows around New York City, but every week, every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I have been for, I guess, about a year and a half. Essentially, it is a host's job to get out of the way, if you think about it. You want to get a feel for the room, you want to get a feel for the audience. Of course, you want to warm everybody up, and you'll open with a set traditionally. But after that's over and done with, your job is, again, essentially, I say, to introduce the comics at that point and then get out of the way. Personally, I've always enjoyed this responsibility and this challenge and the pressure because sometimes it's not as easy as getting out of the way. Sometimes a show might be going to hell, and oftentimes I should say sometimes it's the audience that's doing their part, and a lot of times it's a comedian, especially if this is a newer comedian, if it's an open mic. You do, as a host, you do have this responsibility to sort of save the show, and that's part of the job. You want, ideally, every comic to do well. You want to be a minuscule part of the show as a host. Again, you just want to introduce them, but you have to have that responsibility, and you have to have that ready to go just in case a show is going awry. And that's just to keep the audience engaged. That's to bring them back. If they're going to lose interest in a comedian, or if a comedian has offended some people, and people are going to get offended, but if a comedian has outright alienated audience members, you want to try and keep the room at least somewhat civil. I think that's also, I guess, a part of my personal approach to make every open mic an occasion. You want everyone to feel as though they were invited, and you certainly don't want anyone to feel as though they weren't invited by singling out certain comedians or making inside jokes. You never want to do that, because you want every comedian to feel as though he or she had been invited cordially, but audience members too, because some open mics, not just shows, but some open mics draw audiences. A lot of them do. So that's important. You're always going to be dealing with hecklers. They're not all that bad. You sometimes want to see if you can, get the message across before kicking them out, if that's an option. And then you want to know who you're working with, because sometimes there are comedians who want hecklers. There are comedians who feed off of hecklers. There are certainly comedians who know that they can get better only if they have a rowdy bunch, or some drunks among their audience. So these are all part of the approach to hosting, and it's really just making it feel like an occasion. It's making it feel like a show, even if it is a Monday night open mic at a sports bar. You want it to feel like a show because you want to make everyone look as good as you can make them look.
Thank you so much for joining us again. And if you want to check out Devin, you can check out his YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Devin Keast. I'll also put the information in the notes. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.